Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We're back with Zahra Walji, who is a notary with Boundary Notaries. Hi, Zahra. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thanks. Wanted to talk in our video now about the role of a notary. So I know in depth after working with you for a few years, all the pieces that you work on as it relates to real estate conveyancing, but clients typically don't know or they don't understand, what the services are in full and all of the paperwork that goes on behind the scenes. So I wanted to ask you or have you explain, what is it that you do behind the scenes as it relates to real estate transactions?
Okay, so as many people may think, we don't just sign the documents. When you're doing a transfer, what we are responsible to do is actually register the transfer at land title. So what that consists of is getting documents from a mortgage broker, signing the documents, getting the documents from the realtor, making adjustments for strata, property transfer tax, and then actually transferring funds to the other lawyer or notary who's representing the seller. So we're the ones behind the scenes who are actually making sure that you get a property free and clear in your own name.
Awesome. Now, in refinance transactions and things like that, like you're physically creating drafts and couriering them, can't even say that, to have them deposited, to do payouts and things like that. So you're very involved in this transaction and ensuring it completes.
Yeah. So a lot of people think that the money is just kind of somehow magically, transferred over. But behind the scenes, what we are actually doing is we're receiving the money from the lender that you choose and paying out your mortgages. So there are some lenders like First National and Paradigm that are in Ontario. So we're actually sending physical trust checks to them so that you're paying the mortgage out.
Now, tell me about some of the things where there's a hiccup here or there, or some issues that can arise, and how to ensure that they don't.
So sometimes we'll get documents the day before completion, which can be very stressful. Sometimes documents are incorrect. So it is very, very important to have a team or even connections with everyone that's playing a role so that we can confirm that all the documents are correct and so that we have sufficient time to create everything accordingly.
I always say it's sort of those three key points. You have your broker, your realtor, and then the solicitor, lawyer, notary working on behind the scenes, and having those introductions as early as possible are key. So like you say, if I make the introduction, you can let the client know your timelines and what day you have open and available, and does that fit the funding timeline? And or recommend that if it doesn't, they may have to work with someone else, especially around, say, right now while we're recording the video during holiday season. We're not out at holiday parties, but there still is typically a holiday closure period. So, we're seeing larger volumes. So, yeah. So what are some things that a client could do or a client can do in connection with their realtor or broker partners to ensure that there isn't any hiccups and it goes smoothly?
So sorry about that. So I think the main thing is just being prepared and connecting everyone like in a group. So Katy's very, very good with this. She sends a email that, it's like I'm connected to the realtor, mortgage broker, and the client. It just makes things easy because if you connect sooner, especially in a refinance piece, we need things like account numbers in advance to receive payouts. So there's so many little pieces that, create the completion, and we're waiting on banks to provide us with documents. So if the client knows that they're going to do a refinance, even preliminary, they give us a call or email and say, we're looking to refinance, we're working with this broker. Everything kind of falls into place when it's prepared. So,
and don't close on a Friday, right? If it's at all possible.
I completely don't think it's a good idea to close on a Friday, because the thing is, if and it's a refinance, if we don't get funds right early in the morning, you're paying 4 days worth of a per diem. If it's a purchase and there's like an issue, you're also waiting 4 days. So We always recommend closing on a Thursday, because if there is any sort of hiccups and we do need to complete the next day, you're dealing with one business day.
Awesome. Anything else clients should know?
I think it's very important to pick the right people. So one of the main things that we constantly get told, or you know, people admire, is if you call the notary and you can actually speak to them and have a conversation and just kind of get the lowdown beforehand and know what your transaction is going to look like. It's very important. That way we can, both sides are you know,
On board. Everybody knows what's going on. Awesome. Well, Zahra, if anyone has any further questions for you, or they'd like to reach out to work with you, how best for them to connect with you?
I would say feel free to give me a call or email me at any point, and then of course I would definitely reach back.
Okay. I'll include all of your contact information and show notes in the show notes of the video today. But I wanted to thank you again for taking the time. I know it's extremely busy, but sharing of your expertise. And again, if anyone watching has any questions, please do feel free. It may take her a day or so to reach out because volumes are extremely busy right now, but do feel free. Thank you, Zahra, once again.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.